is only when this seed is planted. When it plants itself within the beatific soil, because it can't plant itself in sand, when it plants itself in the beatific soil and surrenders itself to annihilation and become taslima, means that through their taslim and submission into that soil, Allah make them to be taslima, beatific, because their reality will sprout. Shaitan is very angered by those fruits. Only purpose is you have to remain a seed. You don't need to seek your reality, you don't have to seek your true purpose. Just you stay amongst the seeds and we throw you at each other, and this should be your enjoyment. And then the seeds they wither and dry and they become nothing. They didn't serve the purpose that Allah wanted for them. So divine binary code is the state of learning to be off, learning to seclude ourselves. And what we described the night before is take solace in your solitude, be happy in solitude. It's not loneliness. If you say lonely, you're doing something wrong, because the angels are around you, rijal are all around you, awliya are all around. Somebody emailed, I turned on my surveillance camera for my home, there was so many orbs going all around the house, were we under attack? I said, no, this is the kingdom of jinn that are guarding premises. Means for a believer to see all these energies everywhere, these are the immense kingdoms of light that are all around servants in the millions if not billions. Means that the immense amount of energies and realities. So that loneliness shouldn't be taking place, but they should have a sense of connecting, meditating and receiving the energy and keeping the audience of the beloved and the Divinely love of the Divinely Presence manifest through the reality of Sayyidina Muhammad. They never meditate on being with Allah, because their adab was that Allah will be found in the heart of Sayyidina Muhammad, that focus on creation, focus on your shaykh, focus on the guides and ask that to be taken to the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. So Subhana man dhul arshi amma yasifoon is the might and majesty of entering into the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad and knowing that that lightning and that energy and that qudra is Allah's Divinely Presence upon the heart of His servant. When Allah describes for the people of Marifah, I'm not in heaven and I'm not in paradise, I'm not on earth but I'm in the heart of my believer. Which believer? The only believer for us that's important is Sayyidina Muhammad. So means this is a journey to the Lord of power that Allah gave to His nation the gift, I will annihilate your nation. In Ramadan they become like a das, khashiyah, clean and pure, and if they take guidance and understanding we merely blow the dust and it moves into your presence, so that they don't raise their head, they don't think of themselves as something arrogance and pride to be brought down. Only at that state, and our life on Shawwal is to remember our binary code. Then when we said all the other talks that, who sits on the chair? When shaitan sits on the chair you're on in a bad way. When your nafs sits on the chair you're on and Allah's off from you. But when your soul sits on the chair you reach the reality of being off and somebody's sitting there with an authority and power. And that becomes the true power, the true source of divine grace. Many people want to take the reins of their life and show their authority, but that's the nafs, so that's a fake one. But you have to be no one. When you're no one, like no John that's probably where they came up with this no from. When you're no one, what happens? The real one comes. So when the soul sits on the chair and when we identify ourselves that, oh that was nafsani when I sat and said that, this was my anger and shaitan when I said that, and when we try to identify that what was when my soul was sitting on the chair means that was the state of angelic grace and Divinely grace and prophetic lights. And that becomes all of the hadiths that people want to study. When they had good character means their soul was sitting, the angels were present with them, Divinely lights were present with them, blessings were being dressed upon them. So that means we understand how to be off. When people confront, be off. When arrogance and in the face of arrogance, turn off. And that becomes our whole life struggle on how to turn the energy off, turn the ego off, turn the nafs off. And if we can truly reach a state of being off, Allah will turn the energy on. And if Allah turns the energy on means then that becomes a real one. So reach no one to become real one. When you're off and Allah is dressing, that becomes Hadith Qudsi, that I become the ears of that servant, I become the eyes of the servant, I become the breath of the servant, I become the hands and the feet of that servant because the real one is entering onto that chair. So much so that they become Rabbaniyun, and if the real one is there of course they have then kun fayakun. They merely begin to speak and things happen because it's already the will of Allah sitting upon the throne of their heart. There's no they have one will separate from Allah. If the one is there, the one is the one whom is addressing. But when the fake one is there, it's shaitan and the nafs, and this is all the bad characteristics, and that's why the symbol is humility and humbleness. When someone doesn't speak with humbleness and humility then that's a fake one. When they don't teach with humbleness and humility, it's a fake one. Means in our whole life will be on how to destroy the fake one in ourselves and how to learn the binary system and to live a life of always being off until it's necessary to be on, and through the path of humility and Divinely grace to be dressed. And as a result of being a life of being off, you have planted your seed and a tree will begin to grow from that reality bearing fruits in which people can benefit from the fruits and the association of those souls, inshaAllah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon wa salaamun al mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Bi hurmati Muhammadin Mustafa bi sirri su'ud.